All right, so this week we've got the Browns going against the Broncos. So people are going to be pretty one-sided for the Broncos in this game because Cleveland gets largely overlooked because they are the Browns. That's a stigma that hopefully Baker Mayfield will be able to remove from the team because he actually does look like a quality quarterback prospect. He's giving Cleveland a lot of hope in a year where they lost all of it when LeBron James left town. So I'm happy for Cleveland. I really am. They seem to have things going on good with their football team. If the Browns were a stock, I would buy it in a heartbeat. They have a great young nucleus there now. They have Myles Garrett and a Ward on defense, who are both fantastic. And with Baker Mayfield and Chubb on the offensive side, yeah, good young core. Great to build around. Free agents are going to want to go there with that good young core. So, kudos. That's the story here for me. Truly. These are teams that are, one's going on the way up and the other one's just kind of treading water. Denver had a good few games in a row. Then Emmanuel Sanders went down, tearing his ACL. A talent like Emmanuel Sanders is extremely important to almost any offense they're a part of. And, yeah, their quarterback's not the best, so adjusting from that sort of situation, especially having your other top receiver being traded earlier in the season, is going to be difficult. Phillip Lindsay is fantastic. He really is. He can outrun most people in the league, and he's good on the inside, outside runs, and they still have Royce Freeman, who's good for the inside runs, too. So they've got some talent on offense, but there's been enough people either traded away or hurt that the offense is going to struggle against a defense that's pretty darn good with the Browns. And again, we just talked about Myles Garrett, Ward. Myles Garrett, this is going to be Garrett on Garrett crime going on here in this game. Myles Garrett is going to make Garrett Bowles look like a chump. Garrett Bowles doesn't need much help looking like a chump all by his lonesome. And now he's going up against a guy with 12 and a half sacks on the season against way better tackles than him. So they've got to have a plan for that in Denver. And I'm not quite sure any plan they come up with is actually going to be good enough. So, yeah. Denver looks like the better pick because of all of the youth and coaching changes and all those sorts of things that happened to Cleveland earlier in the season. Past few games, they are looking like a different team. The offense is clicking, and that's what happens with young teams. They grow, they get better. We saw Pat Mahomes at the end of last season for the Chiefs rattle off 4 wins for a team that wasn't doing that hot. And weird, this season they're doing great. I expect something similar from the Browns. Not the same. They're not going to light the league on fire and, march into the playoffs, but there's going to be similar growth. So I would expect Baker Mayfield to have a good showing this game, not a great showing. He's going against 2 of the better pass rushers in the league, in Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. And they have a serviceable secondary still. I mean, just a few years ago, they had one of the best defenses in the history of the game. So Denver's defense is still solid. But, yeah, it's not as good as it was. And Mayfield doesn't have the issue that the Broncos have on the other side of the ball with his primary targets being hurt or traded away. Jarvis Landry and he are getting a chemistry together, and he has a great talent in Nick Chubb behind him to take a lot of the burden away from him. They're going to do well in this game, and they're going to win it. I'm sorry, Broncos fans. I really am. I've been pulling for you for the past few weeks, but this is going to be a game where you stumble. So, yeah, It's going to be a very good game, though. I mean, it's going to be very competitive. These are very evenly matched teams, and I expect it to be fun to watch. But yeah, this one I'm picking the Browns.